everybody. Thank you for coming out for this day of celebration and reflection on the one-year anniversary of launching the Living Room Project. And this has been a great development for the city, and we've learned a lot as well. We launched the Living Room Project as a compassionate response to substance use and mental health issues. As we all know, these challenges are the root cause of a lot of the challenges that we have in our community. It takes a real partnership to get something like this done, so I appreciate all the folks that have contributed to making this happen a year ago and then getting us to this point today. What we're talking about is the purpose of the Living Room is to make sure we're keeping people out of our jail, keep them out of our correction system. We know that once somebody is arrested and goes down this journey of being incarcerated, the odds for recovering from that go way down. So we want to do everything we can to make sure that people have both the right treatment and keep them out of jail. So the Living Room Project is a result of that. What we know happens here is we connect adults in crisis with needed mental health and substance use resources, as opposed to the extra cost that takes place in the jail, the emergency room, or inpatient hospitalization. What I like about it even more than that is that I think this is the much preferred moral response to helping people that are in crisis and need somebody to talk to and need some resources, and start with that before we think about any other things that are much more adverse than that. This program is modeled after a successful program that we saw in Delaware and Illinois. As an organization, we're constantly benchmarking to see if we can learn something from other organizations. What we do is we adapt and then we improve after that. So it's just another example of how we're doing that. We opened this as a pilot project with 2 LMPD divisions. It worked so well that by March, all 8 LMPD divisions were utilizing the program. And then the ambassador program with that downtown partnership is now also involved with the Living Room. Then we further developed the model by staffing the program entirely with peer specialists. That's people with lived experience of mental health or substance use issues. And I've been down here and kind of witnessed the encounters. And when somebody's dropped off here, they want to talk to somebody that's lived this type of experience before. The type of credibility that comes from a peer mediator, a peer counselor on this is invaluable. So I really appreciate the staff that's doing the great work down here. So by providing this peer support and referrals to service for people, the program really improves public safety and access to care. And of course, it's open 24/7 as well. Since opening 1 year ago today, the Living Room has served more than, I want you to hear these numbers. The Living Room has served more than 1,100 guests and provided more than 8,000 hours of care to people that are in crisis in our community. So in the short 1 year period that we've been open, you've seen a tremendous impact already, and especially think about the lives of each one of those 1,100 guests here. The Living Room is part of our broader citywide goal of, you can see documented in our substance use disorder plan. Dr. Moyer is here, our Chief Health Strategist for the city, runs our Department of Public Health and Wellness. So part of that plan is to expand diversion from the ER and from jails so that people in crisis can get the help that they need. So this program, like the program we call the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion Program, or we call it LEAD, recognizes that our substance use crisis is a public health crisis that should be addressed with interventions that connect people to supportive services. And I can't say I'm proud of the way our community, whether it's mental illness, substance misuse issues, substance use issues, is surrounding these issues in a very open way, a non-stigmatized way, and what we're doing here at the Living Room is an important part of that. So the Living Room Project shows how our city values of health and compassion come together. We've supported it in the city budget, and it's a great investment for the people of Louisville because it's helping us both improve public health and public safety. As I mentioned, the council has been a big help on this. So, Councilwoman, I know you'll be speaking shortly, but thank you on behalf of us to the entire council on this good work that you do here and the good work you do with your heart every day. Speaking of somebody with a big heart, Abby Drain. the CEO of Centerstone, Kentucky, is going to share more results and provide some exciting news about the program. Abby?
Good morning. I'm Abby Drain, President and CEO of Centerstone, Kentucky. And I'm thrilled to be here this morning for the first anniversary of our living room. And just as importantly, the expansion of our crisis diversion program, allowing us to serve even more individuals here in our community. Louisville never shines brighter than at the intersection of compassion, human dignity, and fiscal responsibility. Thank you to the mayor, the Metro City Council members, including Barbara Sexton Smith, who's with us today, and you'll hear more from here later, for supporting the living room. We also would like to thank the Louisville Metro Police Department, the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections, and the Louisville Metro Department of Public Health and Wellness for championing this program from the beginning. To date, as you heard, we've helped more than 1,100 guests and provided more than 8,000 hours of care to our most vulnerable citizens. Over the past few months, due to the increased support from the Metro Council, we've knocked down walls, built a triage center, and expanded our capacity to help even more guests. Recently, we hired a transporter so that we can be even more responsive to the city's members and allow our police in the surrounding cities to remain in their divisions, but still access care for their residents. Instead of officers driving to the living room from Fern Creek, we're now able to meet those officers or pick up guests, allowing our officers to get back on the streets quickly. We've also added nursing leadership that allows for improved vitals management, basic first aid, health assessment education, and referral follow-up. This allows people to access crisis care and health care in one place. By opening the living room door wider to the entire community, we hope to improve the delivery of care that changes people's lives. As the largest community mental health provider here in the state, we know that we can provide services living room guests need and get them connected to treatment and back on the road to recovery. Thank you so much for coming here this morning and helping us celebrate our 1 year of the living room. Now I'd like to introduce Councilwoman Barbara Sexton Smith to share a few words. We are in Barbara's district right now, and she has treated every living room guest and Centerstone staff as her constituents. She has been a champion of the living room since its inception, and we appreciate her common sense and forward-thinking approach to leadership. Councilwoman?
Thank you so very much, Abby, and congratulations on your well-deserved leadership position as CEO and President of Centerstone. We are very lucky that you said yes, so thank you for that. As a councilwoman representing Metro Council District 4, we are honored and we feel privileged to serve as the host for Centerstone. There are many times in our community when we have difficult conversations, whether those conversations are taking place in the legislative halls of power of the City Hall Chamber of Metro Council, or whether they're being taken place in Mayor Fisher's office or in churches, houses of worship, businesses, homes, community centers across the community. There's been a Greek chorus that I've listened to during the last 2 years. And in every conversation, it seems like someone stands up and says, well, not in our backyard, not this time, not us. There's pointing fingers. There's a blame game and a shame game. Well, I am so proud and happy to stand here. And everyone standing to my left and to my right and circling this room said, bring them here. So Mayor Fisher has kidded me a lot over my first 2 years in office because I have led the legislation for honorary street signs. So I'm here to make an announcement today. I would like to name every road and every street in Jefferson County Jericho. And if that reference goes missing on anyone, let me remind you, what will you do when you find yourself on the road to Jericho? Will you move on by and look the other way when you see a brother or sister who needs help? Or will you stop? Not with your donkey, as the story went, but we have cell phones these days. We have people we can call. We can bring folks right here to the corner of 7th Street and Magazine at the intersection. If you're confused about what I'm talking about as you listen to this story unfold and you live in the far hinterlands of South Louisville or Eastern Jefferson County, just drive down Broadway, turn right on 7th Street, look to your left at the light at Magazine, and you'll see a beautiful blue light. It's a beacon. It's a light representing love, and it says, "Our doors are open. Step in. We're here to help you." I don't know if we've mentioned some brothers and sisters who brought this to my attention when I first came into office. There are more than 1,000 voices strong with clout. Clout brought this attention to City Hall, got our attention, helped us see the pathway to approve a pilot project of $325,000. And if you don't think that was money well spent, well, we're here to tell you that money has helped hundreds and soon to be thousands of lives, because it helped my colleagues on the Metro Council see the value of this program in a pilot project that we fought for. And we worked with the administration hand in hand to fully fund the Living Room Project this year. So as we're beginning that budget cycle for 2020, let me make the second announcement of the day. I will be leading, along with others on Metro Council, to fully fund the Living Room Project and the LEAD Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion Program, because Councilwoman Sherry Bryan Hamilton, representing District 5, and I, representing District 4, were the two districts that partnered together for our LEAD program. Some folks said, well, it's only set out to help 50 people. 50 people! Think about that. Kevin, if we could help 50 people get off the street, find their way toward recovery, toward a better life, wouldn't that be money well spent? Yes, it would. So, Mayor Fisher, with your permission, I would like to sort of say every road in Louisville is Jericho. I want you to join me on this road to Jericho, because standing over my right shoulder is a man with a heart full of compassion. We may not always agree, we may not always like every way we're headed, but I'll say this. We go to bed every day, each and every person in this room, and you go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning saying, send us in, Coach, we're ready to go. We truly are a city of compassion. Together we can do this. We have complex challenges with common sense solutions, and we are thrilled to be a part of that. I stand with you, beside you. I ask everyone, step up, lean in. Together we can do this. So thank you so much, and Abby, congratulations once again, and Mayor Fisher, thank you for your leadership, sir, because we would not be here if it were not for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Great job. Well, where the rubber really meets the road is when folks come in here and they need help. And so to bring this to a closure here, let's hear from Rhonda Montgomery. She's one of the peer specialists here that's helped so many people. Rhonda?
Good morning. My name is Rhonda Montgomery. I am a peer support specialist at the Living Room. I have been battling addiction with opiates and mental health illness for over half of my life. I have recovered and am maintaining my mental health very successfully. I learned how important it is to share your story while in recovery, which is what brought me to the Living Room. The Living Room is near and dear to my heart because we as peer support specialists are able to share our stories of addiction and mental illness and become that model of hope that someone needs. When someone is down and out and feeling hopeless, we as peer supports are able to relate to that person because we've been in that exact same spot. The Living Room is a place where those who are in crisis can come and get the help they need in order to be able to share their story one day and be their own success. We are able to offer community resources at the Living Room that those who come in for help might not have been aware of. Here at the Living Room, we do not operate with judgment. The people we see are a part of our community, and we want our community to be safe and supported. It's the most rewarding experience for me as a person in recovery and being a peer specialist when you have someone ring our bell and come down into our living room and we're able to sit and talk to that person and hear their story and possibly share our own to help them along the way. We offer so many resources in our community, and our community is strong and we can help these people. We ask that everybody talk about the living room and tell people that we are here for help. And we will use our resources to the best of our abilities to help those in need. And we are right there with them, and we will support them no matter what. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda, for making this happen. Great job. Okay, any questions on the living room? All right.
I have one question for Abby. So, some council members have been talking about spending $500,000 of city surplus budget to homeless services. We've seen all the homeless people that are sleeping on the sidewalks downtown. Could you all use some of that money? What would you do? Would you like to have some?
Those are the individuals we serve every day that you may not notice, but a lot of the people living on the streets do live with a mental illness or substance use disorder, and a lot of those people come from the foster care system and have grown up and past the age of 18. So those are the people that we're serving every day that you may not know about it. And the funding is always short, like I said, when we can bring together compassion and fiscal responsibility and human dignity, that's where we meet. And so all of us working together, any additional funding that we can get to meet those needs. We are your community mental health center here in this region, serving all 7 counties around Louisville. So, yes.
So as you know, the council has authorized the expenditure of the surplus like that. Well, a plan will be coming together to define how it will be used. We'll be working with the Coalition for the Homeless and all of our other stakeholders to figure out what the best way to do that. But there is no question, you know, when I hope during this process we can educate the community when we say homeless, what we mean by homeless. There's lots of different reasons why people are homeless. It can be substance abuse, it can be bad luck, and it can be severe mental illness as well. And then there's some that are just people are chronically homeless. So as we dig into each one of these verticals, we'll hopefully have improvements on each one. Okay, thanks everybody.